So let's look at Renzo. Okay, so to be clear, Renzo sent us this page. We have this page here, which I'll zoom in a bit more. Or will I? What is going on here? What the heck? 90 is this, and then 100 is this. What the heck? Okay, well, whatever. I'll zoom in here too. Wow. 150, that's probably good enough. Okay, so Renzo did YouTube. He made YouTube. His entire site, his site is YouTube. His page is here. One of these pages with the background, you know. They change behind. One of these ones. Classic. So we'll look at his page first, and we'll see if his reel is the same as the main one. This is a YouTube embed 104. This one is a YouTube embed 104. Same one. Let's see. Okay, and seems the same. Okay, cool. Yeah, as in right, it's so good, man. Damien killed it. I was fully engrossed. I liked it. Okay, so we can probably safely close this, but I'll leave it open for the time being. And by the way, I like that you have all your info here, Renzo. Your email and phone number and your website. That's all excellent. Oftentimes, people will have a YouTube video and not have it here, and it's awful. They're making it too hard to get in touch. Keep going down. Little testimonial, sweet portfolio. Here's more things. So website portfolio. It's okay. We have 6 tracks. SoundCloud. We know how we feel about SoundCloud. Don't need to go over that too much again, but we'll have a quick glance at that stuff. Another testimonial. I like this actually. They have kind of them speckled throughout. Just one here and there. It's nice. And then we've got news. So your logo. A lot of boxes. What? This is news? Read more about a lot of boxes. White space. Oh, there's text there. It says November 30th. Wow. All right, well, heads up on that. Oh, Matt says, yeah, wake up, Matt. Thrilled to have done contract audio work. My friends at Petrichor. Okay, great. Awesome. All right, well, that was November from last year. So that's October and January. So they are like semi-recent at least. You're still going. You found, oh, Zero Fan, what's up? Zero Fan. Is that some kind of anagram of your name? Renzo Zero Fan 13. That'd be Renzo. An F and A are left over. F-A, like Renzo AF? Is that what you are? Yeah, I'm Renzo. I'm Renzo AF. Okay, and then we got down at the bottom, we got contact, easy enough. Oh, more content and blog page. Let's see this. How much do you have? We have a logo. A lot of boxes. Okay, progress. Yo. What a cutie. Boston, IGDA, VGMO. Okay, cool. There's like a lot of stuff here actually, so good for you. It's relatively kept up to date. Good stuff. We'll close that down. Renzo AF. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, we got, let's go to the main page again. So, straight up, welcome to my portfolio. I'm Renzo, a composer and sound designer for video games. Here you can find my personal portfolio of music and sound material, my credits and games I've worked on, and my blog on my current activities. If you'd like to reach out, please feel free to use the contact section of this page. I think this is like, I see this on pages and I just hate it. Because the thing is, people will do it, you know? If they want to get in touch, they'll find a way. And this is just taking up more space. And as far as text goes, you should be using as little as possible. Further, there are 2 spaces here. Carrying on. Hope you enjoy. Sound design reel. I think that if this was shorter, I wouldn't mind it being the first thing because it's just like very, very short. But the thing is, it's always going to be. We always say it's risky not to have the very first thing first. Like the very first thing you want them to see, or the most important thing you want them to see, right here. That's for sure the most important thing is this reel. So if I scroll on more, I find it's not hard to get there quicker. It's like really easy to get there. So this is a pretty low risk kind of positioning of text. It's probably fine, and it's just very tasteful and small, so it's fine. Reel we'll get to. How long is this thing? It is 104. Killed it in the 60s. Excellent. So Matt says, I find the sites that scroll down lots and have pages weird to navigate. So you have pages here too, right? So let's go to the about. Here's more Renzo. Fresh out of Berklee College of Music, yeah, Boston, with 2 bachelors of music and film scoring and electronic music production, production design, along with a minor in video game scoring. He works as a freelance composer and sound designer for films and games locally in Boston. So on your front page, you said games or you said film also? Excuse me. You say for games. So right here you say games, and then you're about, you say minor in games and film scoring and production designs up top, right? And then films and games. So right away, I'm questioning how invested you are in the games thing. So if you do want to be focused in games, then good on you, awesome. But just make sure that your site is conveying that, right? Testimonials. Oh, even more, cool. Yeah, this kind of thing, this is like our page. We have like a ton of testimonials, and we don't expect people to read them, but the fact that they are there is really good. I like it. My favorite bit about the site is this is a very smiley photo. It's very professional. Yeah, it's very good. It's a face I can trust. And look, it's Miles Davis likes you. Killer. Credits. Okay, so games I committed work for. Games that are shipped will have links to their respective platform pages where you can download and purchase them. Okay. And if they haven't, oh, they all have though, haven't they? Like, aren't they all? Don't they all have links? Do they not? Okay, like this seems like redundant also, and this also seems redundant. Like this bit right here. Like games, here are the games. I assume, yes. And then this is, they've shipped. There's links. Okay, well, sure. If it says Xbox One, PS4, I know it's shipped. iOS, Android, Oculus VR, Rift, Windows, Mac, iOS, Leap Motion. Like, these are all kind of very clear as far as having shipped, so you can really just kill off this text, man. It's not relevant. If you don't click on Cat Tsunami. Yeah, okay, sure, let's look at Cat Tsunami. Oh, rip. Man, come on now. Doesn't work. That is at massdigi.org. Cat Tsunami. Yeah, too bad. The one link we chose, man. I'm sorry about that. We won't check all of them, but it might be worth, there you go, it might be worth Renzo to look through those links, make sure they all work. Trailers. Here are trailers. Again, kind of not needed. All of these trailers I can audio work for as well. Also not relevant. I mean, assuming that you could put like a bit beneath the trailer to be like, I did this for this thing. Okay, wait, so no links because no black text next to them. Well, no, there's links. The orange text is a link. Like, I saw shipped. I thought this bold meant this bold. But, I don't know. But then it's like, you know, has links. So I guess this is going to the Rock Band page. This goes to... Also, by the way, good title to have your name on. Even if it's just auto QA, that's great. Yeah, it might be worth having, like, not this, man, because this doesn't tell me anything. It tells me you did composition, recording, sampling, mixing. Does that mean you did all of those things for all of these trailers? Or does that mean you did parts of these things in different capacities for different trailers? It might be worth instead putting like a one-liner beneath the trailer and being like, I did this for this thing. You know, I did the music, I did the sound, I did the recording, I did the mastering, whatever. Limbs the game trailer. Cats, here we go, Paul. Oh, it's 1T though. Cat Tsunami. What is happening? This is your music? Brett, the CEO of Firelight Technologies, Brett Patterson tunes in. We're watching Cat Tsunami. Oh, hey Brett, how you doing, man? Can you please tell Matthew to freaking email me? Unless he already has. I'll check my email. He hasn't. Matthew, if you're watching, please email me. This will carry on. That better be in your freaking reel, man. Would watch again. Higher the man, says Matt. Very good. Everyone loves it. Very, very good. Okay, and these links, by the way, Facebook, these are all work, yeah? Cool, yes, good. LinkedIn, SoundCloud. Yeah, SoundCloud, like, we mentioned before having SoundCloud, I'm curious, actually, if I do this. Very good, new tab, good stuff. I saw you had SoundCloud in your front page. Is that correct? I think you did. News and contact. Contact is like fine, yeah. Okay, and news was all your various. So you had news in the front page too, though, right? So like Matt's saying regarding having the top links and also the scrolling down, it feels like you're trying to do two things at once. And it might be worthwhile just to kind of revisit that and see what you need to scroll and what is not worth scrolling and so forth. But anyways. Yo, very good emoji game, Brett. Very good. So anyways, let's have a look at this SoundCloud thing. So we have SoundCloud here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this. It's always just tricky, man. Like, I prefer a visual context always. Just always. If you can do it at all, then do it. And if you can't do it, I would question why. Because you can do sound replacement or music replacement, or if you have games you do music for. Like, did you do Cat Tsunami? I didn't see if you answered. Just a whelp. Renzo AF, come on, man. Help us out. If you did that, then that's like brilliant to put there because it's so just tongue-in-cheek and just silly, and people like that a lot, you know? But anyways, let's watch a reel, shall we? Here we go. Yes, I did Cat Tsunami. Okay, well, yo, that better be in your reel. Because it's really, really good. It's super silly. It's like it's like kind of silly stuff like the Neverhood, like old school, you know, music where it's like just really tongue-in-cheek, really silly, really just fun, energetic, and not everyone can do that, you know. We have composers we work with occasionally who are really, really, really good at certain things and probably wouldn't be the best choice for something like that. So, let's press play and full screen and full volume.
Open up! Fucking door! We're breaking it down!
Good finish. Funny Darko. One more time. And let's just double check the same one. I assume it is, but... Yeah, it seems it is. Cool. Okay, cool. So... I have various thoughts. And the thing is, your music, so based off Katsunami, I'm already assuming that you have, like, pretty good music chops. Like, of all the games. Thank you, Paul, by the way, for bringing that game to our attention. I'm already assuming that your music chops are at least pretty good, you know? And the thing is, this is a sound design demo, real, correct? But right now, I feel way more inclined to watch this than I do to listen to this. Just straight up. So if I click this, for example, 6 tracks, I can't even see that. Oh, there it is. Scroll. It's like scroll. Oh, what's happening here? This is weird. Is it like a zooming thing? It is a zooming thing. Like music with recorded, get out of my face, with recorded samples. Yeah, like you and a whole lot of the composers, man. Like this doesn't say anything about where you see this being. Sonar, that kind of has like an underwater kind of implication to it, or the bubbly stuff, of course. But again, put it in context because it's strong, and it'd be way better.
Welcome to Mass Digi. Mass Digi Game Challenge.
Cute. Okay, so again, case in point, if cool stuff happens here, we're not hearing it. Next. Ah, get in my face. Oh, play. Skipping ahead. Sure. Okay, next.
Show the monkeys who's boss. Let's go.
Radio drama.
Alex, behind you!
Katsunami Egypt. Here we go. Is that meows in the background? Meow. Meow. I love Katsunami. Next up. Yeah, like this at first glance, it's good, man. But the thing is, we're only watching it because we're on Real Talk, you know? It's just, it's not common. I think it's less common, at the very least. I guarantee you it's less common than someone than someone watching a video that is 1 minute long and is like music real, because they want to see something too, right? So Matt says, all caps, show me this song over the level. Yes, why wouldn't you? Of course. Of course. And all Jay wants right meow is more Katsunami. Oh, man. Yes. Okay, but back to the reel, though. Back to the sound design reel. Let's talk about our various criteria here. And I'm sure Matt has some thoughts, too. Let's talk about presentation first of the whole site. So we talked about presentation of this like top side and this vertical scroll. It's like this weird kind of like L-shaped site, or I guess like half T-shaped site right now. That could be a lot more concise as far as navigation is concerned. Again, talking about controlling narrative of how someone navigates your stuff, right? But your site, like the stuff on your site, looks good. So good on you. You know, good logo, good pictures and stuff. You seem like a guy I'd want to work with. Kill off some of your unneeded text and clarify other text. Your little speckles of testimonials are cool. I like it. So let's talk about the actual reel, though. Presentation-wise, we've got an opening of 1, 2, and it's gone. Awesome. Good. Bookends are great. It has like a cat tsunami. Best cat-based composer. This is solid, good opening. Website, info, everything is there. Good on ya. And then at the end as well, same thing. And credits, interesting. It's here. And some credits, cool. Developer. I mean, if these things are on the title cards, you don't need them here. Like, these don't need to be here. It's just sort of just redundant. I appreciate your wanting to have it there, though. This is interesting. The sound replacement, original dev, Quantic Dream. Yeah, like this is kind of just superfluous, man. I don't think you need it. This is now. Let's watch the whole thing again and talk about this presentation. We'll ignore sound for the time being. So fade's good. We have this. This is good. A little lower third. It's above the bar, which is nice. Midnight Terrors, iOS, Android. This means it's shipped. That's great. Starting with something that's shipped is awesome. Tasks, sound design, music composition, voiceover, mixing, Fmod layering. Layering is kind of weird. I don't know what that means. Like Fmod layering. Layering? I don't know what Fmod layering is, man. Like I know what it would mean to layer in Fmod, I guess, but I don't know what this means in terms of your role in a project. If you did Fmod implementation or something, then just say that. That's kind of weird otherwise. I don't like how this goes away because I want to read these things and I could not. It was gone. So leave it up the entire time. And then on to the next bit. And by the way, Matt mentioned good music. Or sorry, good music. Good music. Really good music. Katsunami. He mentioned good length. So right away, this 104 is something I'm willing to watch. Just by default, because it's so short. So this cut to this next game is pretty good. There's like a slight J cut going on there. This fade in. Whoop. This like lower third thing. It fades in like whoop over a second or over maybe half a second. This one just pops the hell in, doesn't it? Or am I wrong? Oh, it's okay. My mistake. But again, leave it up. Just leave it there the entire time. There's no reason to take it away. And if you want to see the things behind it, then just make it not fully opaque. Just go like 70% opacity, and then you're good to go. And then you can still see behind it. So, Matt says, removing titles makes me skip around, because in 5 seconds, I'll forget what I'm watching. Totally. Yeah, just don't make them guess, ever. If I can just pause and be like, cool, got it. Then I'll know what you did, right? And back to here, your tasks were many things, lead motion, sound design, music composition, voiceover, mixing, field recording. Cool. Is there an audible loop point there in the room tone? Catch that? Carrying on. Next game. The quick cuts, I feel like you have fades elsewhere. It might be worth doing a quick fade instead. Just like a small point of polish. Because they did catch me off guard when you changed games. And especially because you have some J cuts going on there where you have like the sound from the previous clip overlapping into the next clip. The fact that your video hard cuts and your music's kind of slow crossfades or your music, your sound design slow crossfades feels a bit kind of incoherent that way. It could be more cohesive. Again, leave that title up. Again, crossfade. Again, leave this one up too. Sound design, voiceover, dialogue editing, mixing, field recording, SFX, music editing. Cool.
We're breaking it down!
Yeah, I'm just racing to read those titles every time. Okay, cool. Yeah, so overall, I like how it's just very quick. Super good. The flow is really nice as far as the kind of things you're showing. As far as material selection, we've got some things that shipped. We have some sound replacement. We've got some like game jammy stuff. It seems like we've got well, elsewhere on the page as well. I mean, and then we have again shipped and it's like a student thing. This is the Berkeley thing. Is that what it was? The credits, is what I saw. Yeah, Berkeley. There you go. And then this is. See, this is. I'm trying to find the freaking title. I can't find it because it's not up all the time. You know. iOS, Android. Also, this is like totally nitpicky, but I hate how your titles aren't the same size for fonts and stuff. It seems like you're trying to fill it out, but it just makes me angry. It's fine. Very small detail. So yeah, overall, I like the flow a lot. Just fix your titles and. Yeah, so Matt says racing to read titles really pulls you out of actually listening to things. Absolutely. It's just the more you can just put it there and not call attention to it. And calling attention includes like fading in, fading out. That'll direct your eye, right? The less you can call attention to it, the more people can focus on what you want them to focus on, which is the video content and the audio content, right? So we'll carry on. Yeah, like even the titles aren't in the same spot every time either. The black is like different. I'm pretty sure at least. I mean, the thing is, if the titles are up it isn't a big deal right now because they start and stop, but once you have them cross-fading into each other, when they're up the entire time, you will notice the differences, so make sure those are consistent, man. Okay, and now let's go through and talk about content quality, yeah? I'm going to actually play this entire thing through one more time, and we'll have a listen to what we're... There we go, okay. Press play.
We're surrounded! Open up! Lock the door! We're breaking it down!
Yeah, so like it's pretty strong in general because the flow is so good. The design itself can be a lot better, and there are technical problems that I'm hearing here and there. In fact, I want to open this right now. I recorded that output. I love doing this. I love having like a recorded output of something and pulling it into iZotope and seeing what we see. It's really quite interesting. So I'll export this here to desktop. That's fine. Let's open this up really fast here. Here we go. We have, yeah, this is fine here. We'll go to like France or something like that. Audio 270. Strong audio file name. Very good. Okay, let's go to RX. Thank you. And here it is. Audio 270. Okay. So, I'm gonna press play here, and I'm gonna point out a few things I heard the first time around, okay? I heard this. There's a little dip in the room ambience. I don't know what it is, but I heard it. I also heard this. This, right here, sounds like something not being faded. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but I heard it, and it sounded like a technical issue. We'll carry on. I heard it a few times, actually. That little pop. Put it here, too. You hear that? And that pop sounds more like it's part of this synth thing that's starting. So there's like various little things here and there that sound like technical issues. And there's another one. So here's another one right here, and that sure looks like it. Look at this thing with the top side and so forth. This definitely looks like it is something that wasn't faded. I'm just looking at it here. It's like a little pop for no reason. So there's like a bunch of things like this. You get the point? And I heard them throughout the reel. So the fact that they were kind of, it was like a recurring issue, it made me assume that maybe edits were not happening in in a consistent fashion. Maybe all it is like something not being faded and not being faded out. I suspect that's what it is. I might be wrong. It might be just stuff that is part of the sounds that sounds like a bad edit or something like that. But as far as like small details, that's something I was hearing a lot in this whole reel, and it does speak to things like attention to detail. But we'll talk about sound design some more here. So, Matt said, "Hello, missing ambience, my old friend." Yes, Simon Garfunkel. Says Barney Oram. Yes. No ambience in this shot. Some in this shot, but there was problems with it. It's also very narrow. It's like right here in the panorama. And the thing is, so Renzo, your use of the panorama is quite good actually. Like you have a lot of left and right going on in your sound design. I like it a lot. And it's kind of a very common thing for sound designers like of your level to have a lot of focus on what's right in the very center. And you do have some, but I think in general you have like, for example, ping pong delays, synth effects and stuff, which are really good to kind of fill out your panorama and just feels good in a casual game environment. So that's good. So again, no ambience here. Let's skip ahead again. There's some ambience here.
Open up.
But is this like a train? Like what is this? Where is she right now? Or yeah, I don't know what this is. Yeah.
Open up.
Yeah, it's like could be a lot better there. And again, no ambience here. So the thing is, when you have the flow of your reel is pretty good visually, but what happens is if you have a lot of like standalone effects with no background kind of filling the void between shots, then it tends to break it up, break your concentration more, and the presentation just suffers for it. So even if you went into this after the fact and just put in ambience and were like, this is my work, like I wouldn't care about that kind of thing. I'm not gonna like research the game and be like, wait a minute, there's ambience in this video and not in the game. If it is relevant to, or if it resembles what your vision of the game would be, I would forgive that personally. But in general, yeah. So, so Mosaic says, Matt, should one add that in after the fact for the sake of better reel? There's my answer. So I think you should. I would personally. I know that personally, and this is kind of perhaps honest, is that I have totally fixed errors in sounds of things that I worked on that shipped that I think could have been better. I just changed it and just resynced it. It's like, here we go. This is a better exemplification of my work. Matt wouldn't. So up for debate, I suppose. I think that it's it probably depends on like what the thing is. If it was like a small, if it's like a small like game jam game or something, then like freaking do it. But I don't know. I think that it's a matter of like, if it came up in an interview and someone said, hey, I noticed you changed your sound in this thing, just be like, yeah, well, it better resembled my view of the project, and unfortunately due to budget or time constraints or whatever, so due to these things we couldn't do it in the end, but to best show kind of what I would like to be, there it was. And like that's kind of, if I asked someone that and that was their answer, I'd be like, cool. Like that's fine with me, because it just shows me that they want things to be as good as they can be, and I don't think that's really going to be a bad thing. It's not like you're using your demo reel to advertise a shipped product. I think if it was being used in that capacity, that's a big difference. But I don't know, perhaps I'm way off base, but that's my personal opinion. I'd be curious to talk about that with you in detail, Matt. That's kind of an interesting subject. It comes up a lot, actually. So, all right, let's talk about the various shots here. So ambience is a big issue. I guess it's like a tower defense game or something with the kid hiding. So, like, design-wise, tower defense games are really hellish to design because they're so tough to have all the gunshots sounding okay alongside each other, but... yeah, it's, like, okay. This cut in the video, it kind of happened suddenly. You know, we could probably make that sound a bit better. I keep hearing that cut, man. I didn't know what this was. The What does that sound? I feel like it's kind of just jarring and weird to have in your reel, but otherwise, I mean, the things you're hearing are fine. I mean, it's for leap motion, you know? And the sounds are all really mono, mind you. But I feel like that was a restriction you had because your other stuff is not mono. So, I don't know. These sounds are a bit, I mean, for something you hear so often, trying to show the blacked out characters, says Jay. I don't know, I'm not sure. Limb Lobber. So these sounds, I don't know what's happening in this video. Let's watch it in more detail. Okay, I'm switching. It's like a tile swap sound. So for how often you're hearing a tile swap, the is a little bit crazy in terms of frequency content and in terms of volume for how often you're hearing it, or how often I can assume you'd be hearing it in the game. Hey, Twinge. Yeah, it's like this weird mix of like really kind of like hard, not hard, but like very, very dry, raw sounds. Like the swap, just done, and then also the impact, there's like, it's done. But then we have the other kind of gamey effects that are like hard left right crazy ping pong delay. So there's kind of this like absence of cohesion between some sounds which are very, very dry and other sounds which are like hard crazy effects on them. Like, you know, wet knob like turned way the hell to the right. And because they're so different in their construct, they tend to not really marry so well. And ambience can do a lot to kind of bring them together, but I think it's also a mixing thing. That the dry sounds are quite loud and they're quite singular in that there's not much else happening. Like those impacts are like, it's done. It's not like, there aren't variations. It's like just one sound. It's like, it's just very, very just basic and simple. And because it's loud in the mix, that simplicity is really out front and it's all we can pay attention to, right? So you could probably stand to have that a bit more multifaceted, just in general as far as the sound design goes. Like there's things being thrown the limbs of, like, is that the whooshes or is that just the sound of the voice? I'm not sure I'm hearing. So in general, I think this could be, you could have more attention paid to the significance of the things that are happening and mapping that to the intensity and volume and energy level in the sound mix. So swaps, for example, are like the least energetic thing happening visually and in terms of the game design. So in terms of sound design, it can probably come way back, like it's probably fine, you know, something like that where it's just very quick. Because I suspect playing this game, you'd be swapping a lot. And then when you do get like a match and there's attack, there's this big dynamic shift where it goes like loud, energetic, and they're throwing the limbs or whatever the hell is happening on the screen. And you have impacts and like enemy health goes down. That's a big exciting moment. But if you go from a loud swapping sound to a loud impact sound, that energy is kind of lost because there's been no change or there's no dynamic shift. So we'll carry on. Okay, so Matt says quietest train ever. This is a train, right? Are we correctly assuming this is a train with a rumble and stuff? Like toilets, there's a big corridor there. I assume it's a train. So just overall here, the perspective is okay. The like you're surrounded and stuff is to the right the entire time. And like that's kind of admissible because it's just the same shot the entire time, but like it's not, it doesn't really help to sell the space that much in terms of dimension. Yeah, it just seems like you could be a lot more accurate with what we're hearing. So, and that includes accuracy to the space, accuracy to the materials of the space, like the bang in the door, like Barney's talking about. That can be more accuracy and more refinement and detail in terms of like Foley movement. So, for example, when she steps up on the toilet, we have like a, and that's it. But there's no real movement or very little movement of her actual like shuffling. Like when you stand up, you get this like this kind of movement of the legs and stuff, right? You have like the of the jeans or the shirt or whatever, even like a squeak on the toilet rim as you step on. There'd be a lot more things that just would help sell that we're actually there hearing it, right? So we'll press play one more time and listen to this guy. Yeah, it's like plop, plop, and that's it for the steps. Like just a very basic like, or like a maybe the plastic like flexing under the weight of her body. Like there's a lot of things you could inject into this scene that aren't as obvious to the viewer, but should probably be heard if you're standing there in that space, kind of fly on the wall, listening to what's happening. Excuse me. So let's talk about the door for a second. This door closing. We'll go from the very beginning. Here we go. Let's close our eyes. So the door had no sound for opening and closing, only the open moment and the close moment. There's no like open and close movement. The open itself was very like high frequency, very light, and very kind of yeah, light in terms of weight. You know, it's just very light, rattly, thin kind of where it's like and it's done. It sounded almost like a toolbox opening. So yeah, I mean, actually, Jay mentioned lunchbox closes, just tongue in cheek. Yeah, so it sounds kind of like a toolbox, like a tackle box, kind of opening up and closing again. It doesn't seem to me like a ka-tunk of a big door kind of closing off and locking into place. And given that she is locking it behind her, we want to hear that weight. Hopefully there's some strength there, right? Those steps there.
Open up.
There's this like kind of rattly thing happening in the right channel that I'm not sure what it is. Is it like the train rattling? Is it the door rattling?
Open up.
Yeah, it's like the tunk 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 tunk, and I'm not entirely sure what that is. And if it is the door rattling, then maybe the dude banging the door. There's like a doo 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 doo. There's the bang, obviously. But there's a more kind of mid-high thing going on. It's even there. It's before the banging.
Open up.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm not sure what that is at all. If it is part of the banging, it starts before the banging begins. So, yeah, I'm just not sure if it's added into the scene or not. The banging I mentioned is always at hard right, and you could maybe have more perspective in that respect, but it's a very short clip, so it's kind of, like I said, admissible. The VO is not bad, honestly. And we always say that having no VO is usually better if you can't get good VO, and it's okay.
Open up.
It's like not amazing, but it's fine. And I didn't think to myself the first time like, oh man, rough VO, and that's all that really matters. So we'll carry on. And this little effect is okay.
Open up.
You could think about the fact that it's all these like effects kind of visually happening, right? And maybe and maybe it would be affecting the other things we're hearing in the scene right now. But we still have like the open up. We still hear that. It's like full, just high fidelity, perfect, compared to what we just heard before that, when she's just like in there. But maybe like if you low passed it and had more going on in terms of like kind of filling out the frequency content of this like big effects thing, then maybe that would be better in terms of kind of shifting dynamics, like I was saying about the impact compared to the swap sound, shifting dynamics of this big like energetic moment of blasting the ceiling open compared to the previous part, right? Hey, cheers, Paul. Thanks a lot. Peace out. We'll see you next week, perhaps. Yes. All right. So yeah, we can listen to it again. Here, check it out. So it's like, kaboom. We're breaking it down. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so just having more, I do like how your ambience changed when this opened up. It's nice. And that clip was fine. It's just very, it was as short as it should be for how many sounds we're hearing, so whatever. Next. This clip could sound a lot more like a mountain, man. Sounds very light. Need some more bass in there. Yeah. Kind of gets a little beefier towards the end, but in general, like a low kind of start to the rumble would be really very nice. Someone said, I think it was Jay, right? What you hear is not always just what's being shown on screen for scenes like that too. Yeah, so it's kind of it often divides good and great design, is that good design designs everything we see to a T, and it sounds great, but then the great design shows things we don't see as well. It's kind of up to you, up to your creativity and ingenuity to look at a scene and say, well, what might be happening that we can't see on screen? Things like that, the shifting of the weight on the toilet seat. Maybe there's like a little creak on that. That kind of thing. We don't see it visually, but it's not that weird to think that might be something you would hear in that case, right? So, yeah, just in general, think about what's on the left and right of the screen, what's on the top and bottom, what's like through the wall, what's happening to the physical materials in the scene that you might not be seeing react like kind of visually. All these things are really, really good to kind of help inject more life into a scene and just make it feel more real. Okay, and the end is fine. Credits are kind of like question, whatever, leave them if you want. But yeah, so I mean, really strong, man. It's like a really good reel I watched through, and I think this is the kind of reel that I would like to see more of you. Like if you, for example, applied to Power Up Audio if you were hiring, and I'd look at it and say, yeah, cool, this is like really strong, and I would want to see where you're at in like 6 months. I probably wouldn't hire you now. Music, I might, because you're really good. But sound is something that I think you could use more work of. So man, make a better music reel, because this stuff's really, really strong, and I want to see a reel that has like all your work just back to back in all its strongest moments. That'd be so good. Please make one, okay? And let me know when you do. I want to hear it. Okay. All right. So distinction. We're running a bit over time here. So distinction wise, yeah, it's just like a good site. It's not amazing. It's not like blowing my mind. It's not standing out a whole lot. But it's just like generally strong. So again, I'd want to see more, but it's not like, well, Katsunami, I guess. Katsunami is distinction. That's what this page is. In fact, let's go back to that again. Is it on here also? Katsunami Egypt? Is it on this page? Here we go. Space. Oh, and Matt says, this is a very good point. Distinction is the shipped games on your page. It's pretty huge. Man, the freaking creative direction of this stuff is like on point. It's very good. We heard Egypt. I want to hear more, man. Where's the rest of this Katsunami music? Where's level 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1? That's my question. Yeah, so Matt says it's not super memorable for me, but not leaving a bad taste in my mouth either. Yeah, it's like, it is honestly just a good page, like a generally good reel but it could be a lot better. And that's just why I said I'd like to see more kind of at a later date when you put more time into your craft and perhaps some of your approaches in terms of sound design. Sound design primarily. Music you're in a pretty good shape, but sound design, perhaps some of your approaches have matured and you've fleshed out some of your current work, or you've done new projects or whatever, and your maturing is kind of evident in that work, right? That would be kind of where I want to be at. Okay, so I will do one of these right now. Thank you very much for that submission, Renzo. Renzo AF. Man, I love that. I love it. Okay, I'm literally gonna play this Egypt track and just play us out. It's so good. Right. I have to run to full indie. It's happening here in Vancouver tonight. So I will leave it right there and say thank you very much, everyone, for submitting. I think I might have someone pulling out next week, so I might need to fill a spot. But so if anyone out there is considering submitting, then feel free to in the next week, and we'll try and get you in. Okay. So thank you very much, Matt. Put your damn link in the chat, man. Matt does one-on-one mentorship by donation. And yeah, basically, if you want to just get this again or this, but not in front of an audience, he's happy to help you out. Okay. So thanks, man. Thanks, Matt, for your help, and thanks everyone for your input as always. Jay and Barney and everyone in the chat. It's always good to see you guys. All right. Thanks a lot. Peace. Love it. It's so good.